Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land tonight? I hope this finds you well. Hit that share button, hit that like button, invite all your friends in here, get everybody gathered up. We're going to have a serious discussion tonight. Yeah, like I can have a serious discussion. And we got to shut that off. Lord have mercy.
Serious discussion. You lie, like my grandmother used to say. You lie like a rug.
I put 4 heifer havens up this week. What'd you do?
Oh my goodness. How much time do you have? I published 2 videos on my Piano Awesome. I've published 3 standalone videos on All Things YouTube. And I got my Makers Rock on Awesome Wood Things, in addition to doing all my live streams. And my sticker that I ordered came in. So this is the standard sticker. Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? You're going to freak out. Look at this bad boy. It is silver reflective hologram. Oh my goodness. These are premium right here. Aren't they awesome? Patreon supporters, $1 a month. You get one of this. The only way to get them. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
So 4 heifer havens. You've been busy.
Yep.
I like your new heifer with the background because the heifer's bigger and clearer. Your production value is going up. I dig it.
Well, since I got the new hard drive, I figured, I better, up the ante a little bit, do something a little better. I had to reload everything anyway.
But it shows. I like it. It's good.
And we got corkboard TV in the house. Hello, Scott. Good evening to you. We got Simply Wooden Creations in the house. He says, I'll be leaving them because I am getting $100 a roll because I put in there that the admission tonight is 1 roll of toilet paper.
Oh, my goodness.
It is at a premium. Did you ever think that you'd see the day when people would run on the grocery stores to get toilet paper?
Negative. That's crazy.
It's the most insane thing that I have ever seen in my life. I thought it was bad enough when I saw videos of this going on the internet. I thought, you have got to be kidding me. Because I thought, they surely were making this up. Oh, no, this was just going on everywhere. I thought, well, they was doing it down in Australia. And I thought, what's the matter with them people down there that they're running on the stores for the toilet paper? And then all of a sudden it was in the United States are doing it. I'm like, Lord, what's wrong with these people? Is something in the water in these major cities or something making folks do this? I thought, now that won't happen here.
People are preparing to hunker down.
And so I placed my order online for my grocery pickup at the local Walmart to pick it up this morning. And I went around the house last night, seeing what I was kind of low on, what I probably needed to poke on that list because I don't like going up there all the doggone time. So, okay, we're getting low on toilet paper and I probably need to order some of that. And I kind of chuckled under my breath thinking about the run on the toilet paper, but I put it on the list. And this morning when I go up to the grocery store to pick up my order, they tell me that they is out of toilet paper. I said, well, I put on there she could substitute. They said, oh, no, you don't understand. We're out of toilet paper. I said, you're out? You got a whole row of it. This is a super Walmart. She says, no, you don't understand. We're out of toilet paper. We're almost out of paper towels. We're totally out of hand sanitizer. We're out of Lysol. We're out of bleach. And she went naming off all this stuff. I said, you have got to be kidding me. She says, no.
Not the Walmart. It's the super Walmart.
It's a super Walmart.
Oh, what is that? The one with a grocery store attached to it?
Yeah. It's the grocery store with the clothes and the sporting goods and the auto center and the eye center and, the cell phone store, everything in there.
Carrie May showed up. Hi, Carrie. And Corkboard TV is giving me some good advice. He says, don't encourage her, Matt.
Well, I said, well, I guess, if y'all don't have toilet paper here, there probably isn't any in town, any of the other stores either. I mean, we only have one grocery, but we got a Family Dollar, we got a Dollar General, we got a Walgreens and a CVS. She says, I doubt seriously that they have any. Because if we haven't got it, then they're hitting these other stores for it. I said, well, when do you reckon you're going to get some in? And she says, well, now that's a good question. She says, because they've been pulling off of our shipment that we're supposed to be getting in here back at the warehouse so that they can fill the online orders. So I think about this on the way home. I thought, maybe I probably just need to get online and, order a pack or two.
They're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah. So I go to box.com because I thought, they'll have it. No toilet paper on box.com. Sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. So
Amazon.
I thought Amazon will have it. Amazon has everything. So I go over to Amazon. All the major brands sold out. They have some novelty toilet paper with Santa Clauses and stuff on it. That's like $5 a roll. And then they got some off brands. And I thought, well, it'll do in a pinch, won't it? Probably need to order a pack or two of this so that at least I have some on hand if people are going to be that ignorant that they're going to make a run on the grocery store for the toilet paper. And I just couldn't believe it. So I talked to a friend of mine about this today, and I said, I couldn't believe it. I'm still in shock. And he says, well, I'm not so worried about the toilet paper. He says, I have toilet paper here. He says, I'm more concerned about groceries. He says, I'm going to go to the grocery and stock up on food.
Makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm thinking, what is going on? Seriously, that people haven't got food laid in their house and that they're hoarding toilet paper. But here's the kicker. Here is the grand finale. While I'm at the store talking to this girl about the toilet paper, she's telling me two things that blew my mind. She says, honey, not only are we sold out of toilet paper and don't know when we're going to be getting any, they're stealing it out of the restrooms.
Ouch.
And while I'm in shock, people are not only hoarding, but they're stealing toilet paper out of the public restroom. She says, and the other thing we can't keep in stock is Little Debbie's. She says they're hoarding the Little Debbie's.
Oh, man.
She says the Little Debbie salesman guy that comes in here can't keep the shelves stocked with Little Debbie's. Before he can get it stocked, they've done wiped out the shelves, and he's having to go back to the truck and see if he's got any more. And I said, so you're telling me, I said, I want to make sure that I got this picture in my mind. People are buying 100 roll of toilet paper at a time. They're sitting in their bathroom surrounded by rolls of toilet paper while they're eating Little Debbie snack cakes.
Not a good picture. Dave Hart showed up, Portal Woodwork showed up, and Mr. Andy Berkey showed up. Blame Berkey.
And Carrie Mace is in the house. Say hey to Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, hello to everybody.
This is Mind Equals Blown. Feel free to put interesting facts in the chat. We'll riff off them. And if you blow our minds, we will reward you with virtual tacos and cowbell rings.
I hope y'all have your toilet paper laid in.
Look at Corkboard TV says, when this thing passes, there will be a lot of trees toilet papered. Everyone's going to have a surplus of it, sure.
Well, Portal Woodwork says, yeah, here at my motels, we had to quit putting spare rolls in the rooms.
Oh, no.
I am just in shock. I cannot believe that we are in such a state in this country that we are hoarding toilet paper. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you used to hear about Russia.
Well, I mean, pandemic, baby. I mean,
but is it really that serious? I mean, the misconceptions people have are just.
Well, I mean, it's the older you are, the more likely it result in a fatality. It's.
Well, I don't even know that much as if you are not in shape. If your immune system is run down.
Over 70, they say it's up around 13%.
But I just don't see this being that serious of a thing. I mean, I read today where the CDC says there's over 55,000 people who have had it and recovered.
No, yeah, yes. I mean, you can recover at the rate of about, what is it now? 4%, 6%, something like. I thought it was 2.3%, and it's hard to get exact numbers because it's a hard thing to get exact numbers on. But the thing is, it's very easily transmissible, and it can linger outside the body for 3 or 4 hours. So doorknobs and things like that. And then it hits you hard. It hits you real hard. And if it goes low, if it goes into the lungs, then the body starts fighting itself. The body starts warding it off, and it starts indiscriminately blasting all the good stuff too. So it can go south pretty fast. But
Well, Scott's asking, he says, when I leave Arizona, should I bring my own toilet paper for the road home? Because he lives up in Canada. And my advice, first of all, would be you might want to contact somebody in Canada and see if people are as ignorant up there as they are down here, and they're hoarding the toilet paper up there too. And it probably wouldn't hurt to take at least a couple rolls, just to be safe, because I don't know how long it's going to take you to get up there. But there might not be any in the restrooms wherever it is that you go. Craziness, absolute craziness. And I asked the girl at the store, I said, well, do they have alcohol, the 71% or higher, back in the health and beauty? She says, I don't know. I haven't been back there. I said, well, you probably wouldn't know if they have aloe vera gel either. And she said, well, I know they have aloe vera in the sunscreen stuff. And I said, no, that's sunscreen. I said, you're talking about a lotion. I'm talking about the aloe vera gel. And she says, well, I really don't know. She says, I didn't look for any back there. I said, well, they need that to make their own hand sanitizer if they want to make their own. And, I have both of those on hand. That's not an issue. I make soap. So, I have all kinds of supplies here for making all that kind of stuff. And as a matter of fact, if we're just going to throw that shameless plug right on out there, Brenda G's Designs has an Etsy store. And she has plenty of homemade goat's milk soap in her Etsy store that's good for washing and keeping you clean. I've never seen so many advertisements on social media in my life as I have this past week for how to wash your hands.
It's pretty sad, isn't it?
Do people were you not taught this as a small child on how to wash your hands? And are people buying all this toilet paper because they haven't been washing their hands?
You can't figure out the minds of the masses. You'll go crazy.
Dave Hart says people want to limit buying ammo, but they're buying 500 rolls of toilet paper. Exactly. Exactly. How did they expect to protect all of that toilet paper when they have no ammo?
I was at Costco. When was it? It was before last week's show, so it was over a week ago, and I only saw about 6 pallets worth, and they had a guy there who was constantly ripping open the pallets and putting them out because they're all in the plastic wrap, the whole pallet's wrapped, and as soon as he would the last one would go, he would rip open another one.
I thought she was gonna say they had a guy there that was armed.
No.
Guarding these pallets.
I tell you what, the food court was spotless. They had someone wiping it down. That was the only thing they did was go to the condiment area, wipe that down, and then go to the tables that were abandoned. People get up and they would spray that down. It was pristine. And when you walked in, a guy was wiping down your cart with the Lysol wipe, hand wipey thing. Yeah, it was crazy.
Jim Dockrell's in the house. We'll say hey to Jim, my brother from another mother. Maybe Jim can tell us. Jim, are they running on the stores up there in Canada and taking all the toilet paper like they are down here? Inquiring minds want to know.
Andy's talking to someone named Dottie. There's a lot of things about me you don't know anything about. Things you wouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand. Andy Berkey's great. He put a comment on my video that was so epic. I made a T-shirt of his comment. I took the comment and put it on a T-shirt. It was amazing. It was like, I have to rethink my life choices. He's went on and on and on. It was funny as heck.
Okay, Jim says in the cities, maybe there's still lots on the shelf at our store. So There you go, Scott. You wanted to know what was going on up in Canada. There you go.
Hi, Jim. Jim's here. Jim Dockrell, your partner in crime.
We've got a Canadian in the midst that's telling us what's going on in the Canadian realm.
Canadistan.
Yeah, in Canadistan. What's happening up there?
The Great White North.
Now, I am also working on my sticker board. You've heard me say that I was going to make one. I've been working on it. It's almost done. And if anybody wants stickers from Matt or I, just let us know. We'd appreciate it if you'd send us some, if you don't mind, and we'll put them on our sticker boards. There's Matt's.
These are free. Just ask us. I'll ship this anywhere in the world. And if you want my new, very rare reflective version, this is Patreon only. $1 a month, you get it. And if you want to sign up for $1 a month patronage and then cancel after the month just to get the sticker, I'm okay with that. There you go.
I've got my cool dragon sticker. So, if you want one of them, just get in touch with me. My emails and all the descriptions on all my videos, I'm pretty easy to get in touch with. And give me your address and I'll mail them to you. My
sticker board is done. I'm putting together the video now. And yes, I have a very big Andy Berkey sticker. It says Boom Boom Waffle Swamp on it. It says, what was it? The Atlanta Woodworking Show. Was it 2017, 2018? You had that sticker, Andy? And I got it. It's big. It's one of those 4-inchers. You can see it from a mile away. I love it.
Jim Dockrell says he has 4 rolls he's willing to trade for 69 Camaro in good shape. I've seen people wanting to trade it for estates. An equestrian estate, a 3-bedroom house, and
someone wanted a $3,000 saw stop table saw for 4 rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Said, don't lowball me on this toilet paper. I know the value of what I got. It was the sort of caption on the thing.
Dave Hart says in the mid 80s, when I worked at Kmart as a teen, we had to have armed state police there so we could unload the trucks during the Cabbage Patch doll craze.
Yes, I was a child when that was around. I may have been 12 or 13, and a lot of my friends' younger sisters were all in a tizzy over getting the Cabbage Patch doll. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jim Dockrell says, my wife wants to know why your sticker isn't a heifer or a cowbell. Well, because my shows are bigger than the heifer and the cowbell. I'm going to be doing a video on the sticker board as soon as I get it done, get all the pictures and everything, get a video made up. So there will be one of those coming. But in the meantime, we're putting up the heifer havens. And hopefully, if I can stay healthy this year, I'm going to be putting up some more videos. I've got some other projects that I want to get put together and do some videos on them. So it's not just going to be about heifer haven. There's going to be a lot more stuff go up than that. So just bear with me and, we'll get some stuff in the works here.
It's all good. Tom Spillane showed up. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom. Good to see you. Glad you came with us. And be sure you share this out, all of you, and hit that like button. Let's boost her up there a little bit if we can. But people need to get this information because, you can't learn this just any place. While Matt continues to knock his mic out of the way. The craziness. Have you seen the video that I put up? The lady did the rant about the gal in the grocery store.
I keep pausing it in between meetings, and then I go back to it, and I can't find it.
Go over to the BrendaG or to Brenda Gibson's page, to my personal page. Okay. It's on there. And this gal is just so upset because this lady in front of her at the grocery store, and it's the miscommunication that I can't wrap my brain cells around. I mean, can't people read about what the CDC says? That she said this gal in front of her has a meltdown because the fella ringing up her groceries touched his face. And she says, "You gonna go wash your hands?" And the boy says, "I don't have time." She says, "I'll wait." And so he had some Perel under the counter, and he put like a quarter of a squirt on his hands and kind of waved around in the air a little bit. She says, "Yeah, like that, and maybe killed 2 weak germ cells." And she said that seemed to satisfy this lady who apparently worked for the CDC that was in front of me holding up the line. Yes. And she says, but then this gal whips out her her debit card, sticks it in the debit card reader, and then takes her naked fingers and puts them all over the keypad to punch her code in. And she said, where every booger picker has had their hands before, and just takes her happy ass right out of that store like nothing went on. I mean, how is it going to hurt you if the person ringing up their groceries touches their face?
Yeah. You're assuming people are intelligent and smart. But not everyone is intelligent and smart. That's the problem. I
have a real problem wrapping my brain cells around that kind of ignorance.
I get it. I feel you. Oh, Berkey's got to run. Blame Berkey.
Well, it was good to have you, Andy. I'm glad you came to the show, and tell all your friends, because we do something crazy here every week. You never know what you're going to see here next.
Nope.
Because we don't know what we're going to do next. So how are we going to tell you?
It goes up, down, sideways.
Yeah, Jim Dockrell says toilet paper is in demand because every time a person sneezes, 12 people crap themselves. Well, I'll tell you what I did at the bank the other day. Shame on me. I went in there to take care of some business, and the girl that waited on me, she's coughing.
Uh-oh.
And I mean, not just, clearing her throat kind of cough. She cough. And she's doing this number, cough. This went on for like 10 minutes while she's trying to wait on me. It would have been maybe a 5-minute visit if she hadn't been coughing her ass off the whole time. And so finally, and I keep stepping back a little further from the counter the whole time she's doing this. And, I'm giving her the eye like, hey, she says, well, I don't know where this cough came from. And I said, as I'm getting my paperwork and stuff together to leave her little cubicle thing, she's telling me, I don't know where this cough came from. And so just as I'm turning to go, I said, you just got back from China, didn't you?
You didn't say that. Wow. Mark Lindsay, CNC is here. Hi, Mark.
And I didn't say it like under my breath either. I said it nice and loud so everybody in there could hear me.
Well, there was a guy on an airplane that wanted the Instagram likes. So he did a story, and he stood up and said he just got back from Wuhan, whatever. And they turned the plane around. And then he was like, no, I just did it for the lulz. They're like, no. And then to the credit of the journalists out there, which I don't give a lot of credit to journalists nowadays, they did not disclose his YouTube channel name and his Instagram handle. Because that's what he wanted. He wanted the clicks. Yeah. He even said it in his public. He's like, look, no. There's no such thing as bad press. All press is good press. And they're like, oh, well, then we're not going to say the name of your channel.
Well, see, he's lucky that the guy flying the plane wasn't me. Because if he'd done that and I was flying the plane, I wouldn't have wasted everybody's time turning around and going back and dropping him off. No, I'd have just pushed him out the door.
Well, that's hard to do because then the plane will depressurize and then the masks will come down and it's a big whole hassle. But yeah, no, I hear you.
Howdy to gone. Happy landings.
See ya, kick.
Thanks for flying my airline.
Falling is harmless. It's landing that's dangerous.
No press is bad press.
Look at those Instagram likes as you're plummeting to the earth at terminal velocity.
Happy filming. Oh my goodness. Just the insanity of the whole thing has just blown my mind. And with the craziness, like that lady at the grocery store, the cashier touches his face, she has a meltdown. I'm thinking maybe we do need a cleansing of the gene pool. Perhaps we're just
Well, it's those with weak immune systems and those that are fighting off other things, and that's the vulnerable. That's what's going to go. Oh, look, there's a toilet paper emoji. I didn't know that.
I'm heading out to CVS to pick up a prescription. If I make it there in time, I'll give you a paper report.
Someone said just use the receipt from CVS as toilet paper because it's so freaking long.
Mark Lindsay says it's time for the purge. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking, I mean, if this attacked people with no common sense, if it attacked people that, are hoarding toilet paper.
There's a rumor they're like, oh, it's in the cardboard roll of the toilet paper.
Yeah. Because the cardboard rolls are made in China. So it's in the cardboard rolls of the toilet paper. So you got to buy the toilet paper that doesn't have the cardboard insert.
Yeah. That's all toilet paper.
No, there's some that don't have the cardboard insert.
What do they have? Nothing?
None. There's no insert in the middle of it.
Flippity floppity?
Just a hole in there that you just slide your slider thing through.
Tom says his town is closing all schools on Monday. Apparently tomorrow is going to be fine.
Yeah.
Well, the spring break at college has been extended, and once they come back off of spring break, it's all remote classes. So no.
Friday the 13th is not the day to shut down the school.
Closing for 2 weeks. $2 super chat for postage if we make it through this pandemic, says.
That's not enough to buy toilet paper.
Don't disparage a super chat.
Oh, bless your heart, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Portal Woodworks.
Oh, I just couldn't resist that.
I know.
Yeah, you can't buy a roll of toilet paper for under $50 today. And the thing of it is, if there was a reason for this, then I'd say, well, okay, I can understand it. But I cannot understand this because there's no reason for it.
Well, there is a reason. I mean,
okay, tell me.
The reason is people are going to hunker down in their homes and not go out.
And so they're going to need 100 rolls of toilet paper for a couple weeks.
I'm not saying it makes sense what they're thinking. I'm just telling you what they're
there's
thinking.
people that shitting a whole lot more than me if they need 100 rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah. 2 cases of Charmin Mark Lindsay has. Quart of hand sanitizer. I'll trade for a mint condition 1982 El Camino. El Camino. Is it a truck? Is it a car? Who nobody knows.
This thing is not a stomach virus. It's a lung virus. It's like pneumonia.
I know. I'll approve Simply Wooden Creations. He's selling it for $100 a roll. MREs can clean out the system, says Tom Spillane. The meal's ready to eat, MRE.
Yeah, but the MREs come with toilet paper in them. All the ones I've ever seen.
Interesting.
Not much.
Okay. The El Camino is the mullet of the car world. Business up front, party in the back.
And mullets are coming back.
No, they're not.
That's what I saw the other day, that the mullets are coming back.
Mr. Doughboy 356 is here. Hi, Mr. Doughboy 356.
He says, I'll trade a case of toilet paper for cruise tickets.
Oh my God. There was a website that was the best website ever created in mankind's history. Now it's no longer active. It was called ratemymullet.com. And each photo was more hilarious than the last. They had whole categories of mullets, and then you went into a category and you saw all these examples, and it was hilarious. And they would give mullets different names. And the one name was Holy Mary Mother of God mullet.
I will have you know I had a mullet. back in the day when they was popular, I did have a mullet for a short time. But then my hair has been like every color under the sun and every shape imaginable. So that is not probably very surprising to people who know me very well. Corkboard says fake news mullets.
Yeah. I'm looking for the El Camino corkboard. LOL.
Oh my goodness. I put up a thing the other day on Facebook, more to aggravate a couple people I knew than anything else, but it was about how miserable cruise trips are. And there was like 30 pictures with explanations about how bad the cruises are. And boy, it stirred up a lot of people that I've never seen anything like that, and I've been on a load of cruises.
Oh, it's just in general cruises?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. About how crowded they are and how, you know, the decks get all full of people and
well,
the swimming pools packed. And
the thing is, there's always more than one thing to do at any given moment. So if the jacuzzi's all filled up, then, you know, come back to it later. It's all good. Floating incubator. Well, what they should get rid of are the hand dryers in public restrooms, because they're incubators and spewers of pestilence. They're awful.
Yeah.
Even the Dyson ones. I mean, they're all blowing hot air. Think about it. There's moisture, there's heat, and there's fans blowing it. There's nothing you can do. I don't even know why they exist. Well, they exist because you don't have to buy paper products. It's cheaper, apparently, but they should not. Oh, Joe Rogan had a good episode on the virus, says Jim Docker. Joe Rogan is amazing. The #1 rated podcast in the world, Joe Rogan. He gets eyeballs like nobody's business. He's got it locked down. He's very popular.
Well, I mean, if anybody has questions about this virus, it's very easy to go to the CDC website and read up on it. I mean, you don't have to listen to all the hype that people are throwing out there and crazy people that think that somebody else touching their own face is going to give them a virus. What the hell? I mean, even if you think about that, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, if I touch my face, how are you going to get the virus?
Well, they're saying don't touch your face because you'll give it to yourself. Like you will have touched something with your hands, but it's.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if I touch my face, it's not going to give you the virus.
Well, yeah, not that at that moment it's not, but it will get you sick, and then you will in turn.
If I have been exposed to the virus and have it on my hands,
I know.
But there's a lot of ifs in there. I mean,
there's a lot of ifs.
People need to read up on it and figure out what they're dealing with here.
There's over 10,000 ifs in Italy. There's 100. There was 165 in New York, and there were 2 cases in Pennsylvania last time I checked. But it's going to be everywhere. I mean,
we've had 3 cases of it here in Indiana, but you know, I see that as no reason to panic. If there's 3 cases out of all the millions of people.
Well, see now, look, Tom says more people die each year from the flu. Well, the count's not over yet for coronavirus. Coronavirus is at least 20 times more lethal than the flu. Some say it could be 40 or even higher. I mean, the flu is 0.01% lethal to the average population, young, old, everyone in between. And coronavirus is much more than that. So.
But people run on the grocery stores to get toilet paper when they could have stayed home and ordered it online and had it delivered to their door instead of getting out there and exposing themselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy. I mean, and you go to the grocery store, how many people have handled the produce? How many people have handled the fruits and stuff that you're picking up? But, we're all about getting the toilet paper.
Yeah. 30 times more, says Jim Dockrell. Yeah. Yeah, it's wicked. It's wicked. It's you contract it faster, it stays dormant, or there's no symptoms for longer.
Yeah.
Where you can spread it and you can feel fine and you can spread. That's and then it hits you harder than the flu. And the flu is no walk in the park.
Yeah.
So it's not trivial, but it's not the end of the world either.
But the misinformation and the craziness is what I'm talking about. There's no reason for people to be in a big panic to run on the grocery store.
Yeah. The mask, people. Yeah. Mark Lindsay said the masks don't help you not get it.
Yeah. It keeps you from spreading it or sneezing your germs all over everybody.
Now for the woodworking, I have a full respirator with the vapor, like that would help. Those are really nice. I love my dust mask. It's just the best. It's got a little handle. You just go click and the whole thing goes down here. So you can pop in a drink, put the handle back up. It goes right back up on you. You don't have to unstrap anything. Yeah. Amazing. And it's the older version. They discontinued that version and they made the new version all funky. And I'm like, why'd you go backwards in features? Anyway.
Jim Docker says 3% death rate in elderly, obese, most in North America, and those with pre-existing condition, it could hit 15% mortality.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. 15 to 17% for elderly and at risk. I mean.
So when all those people die, what happens to the toilet paper they've hoarded?
I don't know. But they're
going to take it with them?
Well, Italy is so stressed that they have, well, I shouldn't even say it, but they had like, a family member pass away. They can't get anyone in to remove the body because the coroner's all backed up and, you can't, you need the death certificate. I mean, there's things that and they're out of beds. They're out of ventilators. They're out of, it's dire. I mean, because like when you have the flu, like sometimes you get to hit or pneumonia, for example. If you have pneumonia, you sometimes need treatment. Like you need to be on a ventilator. Like you need care to get through it. But if you don't have the care, if they don't have a bed for you, or they don't have all of the breathing machines are all taken, pneumonia is very, very serious, and you could get pneumonia anyway. So they say America's 10 days behind Italy. In 10 days, we're going to be Italy is what people are saying.
Someone I know had a kidney stone last week and had to go to the emergency room. And they admitted him overnight so that they could run some tests, find out how bad this was and, see what was going on with it. Well, in the meantime, he asked the doctor about this coronavirus. And this was down in Florida. And the doctor said, we haven't had any cases of it here at this hospital. And so he said, well, okay, you're a doctor. He says, how serious do you think this thing is? And the doctor said, well, I think it's probably, fairly serious. It's something that we need to watch out for. But the majority of people that have it don't even know they have it and recover from it.
That's good to know.
Without it even being reported. He said it's when it gets out of control that they go seeking medical advice and some sort of treatment for it. So, that's what a doctor told somebody that I know last week about it.
Yeah. So I mean
people that are that have asthma, that have serious conditions with allergies, that are prone to bronchial problems or are predisposed to getting pneumonia, they better be looking for a way to up the ante on their immune systems and, really be careful of what they expose themselves to with this. But I'm thinking that the majority of people, if you're healthy, probably don't have a whole lot to be extremely concerned about. Just keep yourself clean. That shouldn't be anything that we have to say because of
It's true.
a virus.
Mark Lindsay CNC has quote unquote underlying health issues.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. We shouldn't have to be giving people instructions on how to wash their hands.
Well, let's kind of flip this around because all right, so everyone's going to be at home, no one's going to be out doing anything. Well, what do people do when they're at home and they can't go out? Watch YouTube. Pump YouTube full of videos and catch the wave of revenue from the ads on your videos because the viewership's probably going to spike.
They go online shopping at my Etsy store to buy soap. That's what they do.
There you go.
So they can go wash their funky hands.
Yeah. Or they can be a $1 patron on Awesome Wood Things and get this reflective holographic sticker. Very limited supply. Mark, I don't know if you saw this. Mark Lindsay CNC and some of the new folks. This is my new sticker. Isn't it great? Oh, it's so amazing.
That's his Patreon sticker.
For Patreon. $1 on Patreon. Patreon.com/
TFL Works makes a good point. He says Christmas time babies. Yeah.
Well, did you see the meme? It's like, I hope people are stocking up on condoms too, because we don't want people to
I've seen where they're buying the condoms to put on their fingers.
That's a waste.
Because the store's sold out of latex gloves.
Oh my gosh. Drone Junkie QC is here. Welcome back, Drone Junkie.
Glad to have you in the house with us. Be sure and hit that like button, hit the share button, so everybody comes over here. Mark Lindsay calls them disco stickers.
I'll take it. I'll take disco. Yeah. Extremely limited supply. I saw these and I'm like, oh my God, I have to have them. Add to cart. Sometimes I get these emails and I'm like, click, add to cart, done.
Those remind me of the new hairstyle that women are sporting these days, called the holographic hair.
The color changing. Yeah, I saw a still image. I'm sure it didn't do it justice, but I'm like, huh. That's interesting.
Now, blue and green and pink and all that in their hair.
Make a disco ball out of those stickers. Oh, I would. That would take a lot of stickers. I should make an isosahedron out of them, like my. Make one of these.
Yeah, but they're not the right shape.
Well, I could make it. Well, you're right. It would be an abstract awesome. Oh, I was showing you this earlier. I'm gonna try Super Sculpey on my Awesome Wood Things channel. This is it's like clay, but it hardens as plastic after you put it in the oven for 15 minutes.
Now I've used Fimo, but I'm not used the Sculpey. But I still prefer this quick wood stuff that I use, and this air dries hard.
I had this too, free foam sculpt with but this was a little too wet and a little too floppy.
Mm-hmm.
I had it was a challenge, so I'm thinking this because it's the medium blend.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can read that. Medium blend. This might do a little better for me.
Yeah, this stuff is like epoxy. It's like a putty, and it's got like a white center.
What's it called?
Quickwood.
Is it like a 2-part material?
Yeah, it's a 2-part material. It's white in the center and it's kind of caramely colored on the outside. And you just cut off however much you're going to need, and then you just knead it all together until it's just one solid color, and then sculpt it into whatever you want. And it's about 15 minutes. It's pretty hard overnight. Totally hard. But
check it out.
That's what I made a whole lot of stuff out of. This is the little feller that I made.
Oh, nice.
Out of it. There's a gourd inside there that I used for the aperture.
Oh, now see, look, Mark Lindsay says he has an idea for some of that Super Sculpey. He says he wants to try carving it on the CNC router. Well, You can. It says you can drill into it. Can be sanded, drilled, carved, and painted after baking. So I would say that you're in good shape with this product. Super Sculpey. I wanted to get Bobby Duke used this, and he used, I guess it was the regular kind, but I could only find the regular kind in packs of 3. I didn't want to pay triple for it, so I just figured I'd try the medium. Looking forward to it.
Nobody's throwing us out any interesting facts there in the chat tonight.
Yeah, we haven't been really pushing it. So
yeah, we do interesting facts here for anybody who's not aware of what we do, and that's why we call it Mind Equals Blown. Because if you give us a fact out there that blows our mind, we will give you virtual tacos and free cowbell rings. They're not worth anything, but they're free and they're fun. And for an example, let's see here. The brain is our fattiest organ, being composed of nearly 60% fat.
What?
So when somebody calls you fathead, they ain't kidding around.
Got big brain.
I like big brains and I cannot lie.
Your other brothers can't deny.
Yeah, Mark says he's eager to see if it'll hold detail or even hold up to the process. I don't know about on a CNC, but it does sculpt up pretty well. I have made stuff out of the Fimo, which is comparable to the Sculpey, as I understand. And
it sounds like Mark's going to lay out a sheet of it, harden it up, bolt it down to his CNC, and then carve it. I would presume that's what you're talking about, Mark.
Yeah. So I don't know how to hold up to that, but just basic carving of it or sculpting of it worked pretty well when I was using it.
Oh, here we go. Fact: over 50% of the people who have ever lived on this planet have died of diseases that were spread by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if the skeeters get to carrying this.
Well, we know what to do with them. It's just throw money at the problem. They make those traps. Do you ever see those traps? They're state of the art, and they've got them down pretty cheap now. You hook up a propane tank to it, and there's a little burner inside. That's the heat, and then it heats this substance that sprays out the scent, and it's warm and it's wet. And they're attracted to it. They can't resist it. It's just as if someone's exhaling. It mimics that. And that's what they look for. That's what they can sense. Oh, something's breathing. It's got blood. And they go into it and they get close and the fan sucks them in and they die. And it kills 100% of the mosquitoes. They can't evolve out of it because no one can escape it. So there's no, what do you call it, Darwinism, where only the strong survive, and whatever trait it was used to survive it gets spread. No one survives it. It's amazing. And what you can do is you can put like a whole grid of them over a neighborhood. It completely eradicates them because they can't. Anyway.
Yeah, Jim Docker says attracted to the CO2.
Right. 100% effective. 100% effective, and it only kills the mosquitoes because the other bugs don't care. What do they care? They eat cow manure or whatever else the other bugs eat, but mosquitoes go after that. We should just blanket the globe in those things, turn them on for 2 months, we'd be done.
Corkboard says, remember 2010 and swine flu, the H1N1. 60+ million Americans were infected, and we got through that.
You have to remove any standing water. Stagnant water is where they breed. And you know what is really good at holding stagnant water? Tires from cars, because the inside of them, it'll rain and it'll collect, and it's nuts. I have a water barrel that fills up with the downspouts.
Right.
And there's a little gap between where the rain spouts go in, I put mesh wire over it so nothing can get in. Yeah, I'm very, very careful with that.
So we got a fact out there. It says, though they may be reproductive or territorial in nature, male daddy longlegs have a long protrusible penis. Technically makes them not a spider.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people are scared to death of daddy longlegs, and daddy longlegs cannot bite you.
No, I heard the fangs are so small they can't pierce the skin. Yeah.
They are poisonous, but they can't bite you.
Right. Oh, we used to let them crawl all over us.
Yeah.
We played with them as a kid. That's why I keep my tires on my car, Matt, doing my part for the mosquito eradication. Good on you, Mark. Well, it doesn't eradicate them. It just makes the conditions less likely that they'll breed in that spot. But yeah.
Jim Bashirs is in the house. Hey, Jim, good to see you. He says he just got home from the airport. Never saw anyone wipe down a plane seat with alcohol wipes before. Well, here the future is here.
I guess because they're fabric, you wouldn't, but whatever. Yeah.
The whole thing is just blowing my mind. People don't have any more sense than they do. I mean, this should have been stuff that was going on long ago. People should have been washing their hands.
Yeah, I hear you.
You should always have a month's supply of everything laid in, with the exception of perhaps your staples that will expire quickly.
Well, it's the merchandise systems that they have are so dialed in that grocery stores, they don't keep any stock. They used to have like a stock room.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything's to order. It goes right on the shelf. So like something happens, there's no back room to raid. It's only what's out there on the shelves.
Yeah. Russell says the Himalayan honeybees, the largest of the honeybees, makes a hallucinogenic honey that tribes collect a lot.
Yeah, crazy. What Himalayan? Yeah, I was. Joe Rogan was talking about that, and the elk are ravenous over this hallucinogenic stuff, and the native people there will eat it in their diet. And when the native people urinate outside, they'll get attacked by the elk because they can smell it in the urine. Like they're going after it's crazy. And they think, this is kind of crazy, but they think Christmas, like the old parables that spawned the Christmas holiday, flying reindeer, they were tripping balls, and it was from a real elk and caribou that would go after this hallucinogenic honey, and that's why they're flying high. They're tripping balls, and they think that's where it's from.
Well, Mark Lindsay brings up something that I'd never heard before. He says, I'm not surprised at all. You know the deal. When in trouble, when in doubt, run in circles, scream and shout. Oh, Dave Hart says, CBS report. Toilet paper, very little. Single rolls and brand X. No multi-roll packs. Perel and Clorox wipes are out of stock. Only single rolls of paper towels. That's in Lancaster County.
Oh, that's right. That's the neighboring county of.
Yeah.
Well, not neighboring, but it's not that far away.
No. So if you need anything, you're probably SOL. Oh my goodness.
Shut down. I mean, I have an event on Tuesday that I'm running that's going to get canceled. I have a big formal dinner, 250 people. That's on April 7th. That's going to get canceled. Baseball season's going to be delayed for minor league, if not indefinitely. Yeah. So I'm going to be making a lot of videos. A lot of videos.
Nathan T just vlogged this, dropped in for a drive by. He says, I'm at work, dropped in to say hi, thumbs up. Did you know that you can't hum and hold your nose at the same time?
Try it, Brenda. I'm not falling for that one.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Yeah, Jim
Brenda.
Bashir's is going to have a bidet, but it's hooked up to the cold water.
That's good. That's good.
And Russell says, FYI, Fox News just reported Disney in California is closed until the end of the month. They're rolling up sidewalks.
Well, Disney was already financially, they are stretched very thin. They bought Fox and then they canceled half of Fox's stuff. It was the stupidest purchase. They bought Lucasfilm, and those movies aren't turning the profit that they need. And this whole Galaxy's Edge is not the moneymaker that they wanted. And their latest Pixar movie is there's controversy over that. People aren't going to. That was the lowest Pixar movie ever.
Well, if people aren't going to the amusement park, if they don't have a crowd there, then people aren't buying tickets, and they have all these employees that they have to pay that are showing up for work, and it gets to the point where, okay, it's not worth opening the gates. You know, I can understand, you know, it's a matter of money.
The parks are a substantial part of the bottom line of Disney, and the cruise ships, the parks and the cruise ships together. It's like 60% of the revenue. That's going to hurt them big time. And they've been cutting fan experience. They've been cutting maintenance. You know what just broke down? The Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion's been running like a machine, unstoppable for decades. And they just haven't maintained it. And there was a maintenance hatch open or something, and they shut it down. And the monorail should have been replaced 10 years ago. And they smell like urine and stuff like horrible.
Steve Osprey Mama's in the house.
Osprey Mama and Steve Carmichael, welcome.
Hey, Steve, good to see you. Glad y'all in the house. You missed my rant about the run on the toilet paper.
Yep.
You had to play it back.
Steve just published his Maker's Rock album. He did Rush 2112. Neil Peart talked about Neil Peart, the drummer. Many people say he was the best drummer that ever walked this earth. He was exceptional. And here's a fun fact about Neil. He got so good that he knew he plateaued because he was like very, very good. He went to an instructor and learned a whole new method of drumming. At the peak of his career, put everything on hold, learned a new technique on he was like a lonely student, you know, and then went for it. The guy was amazing. It's amazing. Yes, he wrote most of their lyrics too, says Steve Carmichael, which a lot of people don't know. Awesome. Thank you for pronouncing his name correctly, Matt. Oh, you're welcome, Mark. Yeah, I respect the man. What a story Neil Peart had. It is heartbreaking in many respects because he was on top of the world. He had a lovely wife, and he had a teenage daughter, superstar, peak of his career, and then his daughter was got in a car accident and was killed, and then the marriage didn't last. I think the wife died too. So within a span of a year, his whole family is gone. He took a couple years off, and then somehow found 5 years later, 6 years, found someone else that made him happy. Married this other person, pulled himself out. I mean, most people can't survive that. Could you imagine going through that? You probably can't like ever come back from that, but he pulled himself back, and it's amazing. And then when he got too old, well, he started having physical limitations on the drums. He said, "That's it. Like I'm not gonna half it. It's got to be all the way or nothing." And then he stopped doing it. And all in private. Like this was nothing. None of this was public.
I'd like to thank Osprey Mama for the super chat out there. She says it's always nice to see you.
Thank you, Osprey Mama. That helps the channel.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And speaking of super chats, all the super chats go toward the postage for the giveaways. So I have to wait until YouTube gets around to sending me some money. And that is coming up here in a couple weeks. And when the money is deposited into the account, we'll be doing some giveaways. I got a big old pile of stuff over here in the floor that I'm going to start giving away.
Just remember, anyone wants a sticker, just let me know. I'll send you a sticker. I don't need anything from you. I'll just mail it anywhere in the world. But some new people came in. Holographic rainbow stickers. These are the rare ones. These are Patreon only.
And I've got my BrendaG's designed dragon sticker. If you want one, get in touch with me and I'll send them to you. And if you'd like to have your sticker put up on my brand new sticker board that I'm working on, I should have it done here in a few days. We can do that.
Osprey Mama is one of my patrons. You will get one of these holographic stickers if I have your address, which I think I do, because I think I sent you one before. But yeah, crazy stuff.
Mark Lindsay says he has to sit on a stool that doesn't have a back on it when he plays the drums.
Oh. Yeah. Yes, Matt, can't wait for the new sticker. It's the camera doesn't do it justice. It really is even more awesome than that. These are extremely limited quantity, folks. Very rare stuff.
Mark Lindsay has a pro tip. He says, never buy more drums than you can take down to the pawn shop in one trip.
No, I'm piano. I decided to learn piano late in life. And I've been 10 months now. I've been doing the piano, and I'm finally at the point where I'm not horrible at it.
Well, I'm a collector. I've got all kinds of musical instruments that I can't play. I've got all kinds of harmonicas. Can't play them. I mean, I can make noise.
Yeah.
But I can't play them. I like to aggravate the neighbors. You know, when they get company or something, then I'll go sit out on the patio and toot on that thing and aggravate the crap out of the neighbors.
I can imagine.
I've got steel guitar with the amplifier. Oh. Can't play it.
Oh, my goodness. Mark says he's got electric drums. They pack away. Do they roll up? Or are they just rubber pads? We don't know what they look like.
I've got an acoustic guitar. Can't play it. Yeah. Osprey Mama says Brenda chases the squirrels away by playing. Yeah. That's another good use for it. It keeps the squirrels at bay.
Oh, Mark says, I got you beat, Miss Brenda. I build instruments I can't play. Yeah, guitar making is big in the woodworking world. People make full guitars. They make bass guitars, and they make cigar box guitars. Mm-hmm. Those are very popular. And getting the angle right of the head, mm-hmm. where that's like the trick, you know, is having that angled back a little bit. That's how. Yeah,
I'd be hesitant to make an instrument that I could not play because I wouldn't know if it had the right kind of sound quality or not.
Right.
But that's just me.
I tell you what, man, electric instruments are, because an acoustic piano, oh my God, that thing is a chore because it'll go out of tune, and to replace the hammers and get it to, it needs constant money getting thrown at it. Mm-hmm. And then these digital pianos, there a 200,000 Yamaha grand piano was microphoned. So when you hit the keys, it sounds just like that $200,000 grand piano.
I had a piano once. It came with a house I bought. And I had somebody over at the house that knew how to play, and they tried to play it. They said, oh, it's so out of tune. So I called a piano tuner and had him come and tune it up, and then I sold it.
There you go. We had one that was painted purple, and it was all solid, gorgeous, dark hardwood underneath, and it was painted bright 13-year-old girl purple. And it was in the basement, and we had it forever. It was weird because on this piano, when I hit the high keys, the higher up I go, I can't hear the notes. I think my hearing has been blown out on the high end. Now, when I was at my instructors, I used to get instructor lessons on piano. I could hear the high notes on her piano, but I think her piano was out of tune, and they were actually registering lower. But when I hit like the fifth, fourth, third, and the very first note, it's as if someone turned the volume down 50%. I'm like, I bet you I can't. It's not registering. Isn't that it's freaky? It is freaky, is what it is.
Yeah, Jim Bashir says they take up a lot of space. Mine's in the garage in the corner. Yeah, in this particular house, it was in a corner that was like it was just made for it. Right between the family room and the living room, there was just, I don't know, a little vestibule kind of place, for lack of knowing what else to call it, and it fit right in there perfect. But I couldn't play it, and I wasn't interested in trying to keep it tuned up for on the off chance somebody would show up that knew how to play it. And I wasn't interested in trying to learn how. So I thought, best thing for me to do is to sell this thing and buy something that I need. That's exactly what I
did. They are a money suck for sure. My instructor was talking about a former boyfriend she had, and she said the boyfriend's like, I want to buy you something nice. What would you like me to buy you? And she goes, oh, replacement hammers for my piano. He goes, no, I'm thinking like, would you like a trip? She goes, replacement hammers for my piano. Well, how about some jewelry? Replacement hammers for my piano. Like, that was all she wanted was replacement hammers. Because it was so much money to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Lindsay says, know your limitations and work with them, not against them. Exactly. Yeah. Because at that point in time, I was working. I didn't have time to try to learn. Didn't really have the inclination to want to learn. And that thing, was just kind of sitting there in the way. And I thought, they have to be tuned up all the time. And I'll have it tuned up. It'll sit there a few seasons. Somebody will show up, knows how to play, and they'll tell me it's out of tune again. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not interested in going through that. Let's just sell it to somebody who has kids that they want to teach to play or something, and get it out of here.
We have a new person in the house, Ordine.
Ordine's in the house. Yeah. Bless her heart.
She says, I've been trying to get rid of her old piano, but my sons play it and they want me to keep it. It's in my way. That's a shame.
Well, if the kids are playing it, there's worse things they could do. Yeah. So, if the kids are playing it, then I'd say keep it. But I didn't have no youngins around, so,
I'm having fun. I practice every day on that thing. Every day I practice. And my hope is to get sheet music of 80s hair bands and then play songs you wouldn't think should be played on the piano, but play old 80s hair bands on the piano. That's going to be my shtick.
Well, you're getting pretty good at playing that, because I've been watching your vids. And
no, it's not. The Queen song. I'm getting real good at that. That's my next one. I think I'm gonna have a whole playlist of Queen because I love the band Queen. Jim Bashir says, "Oh God, Matt."
Ordine says, my hope is to get it out. It weighs 1,000,000 pounds. Yeah, they are heavy.
And an upright piano. Is it an upright or a grand piano? Uprights. It's just all one unit. Like there's no taking it apart to make it lighter. It's all got to be moved. And I remember because it was in the basement of my childhood home, and we had, the steps were 1.5 inches thick hardwood steps. And when they brought that up, the men that were carrying it, those steps were going, and this 1.5 inch old hardwood that was built like in the 40s or whatever, man, it was flexing. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, mine was an upright, but two big burly guys came over there, and out the door they went with it. And
Ordine says upright. Yeah. Mark Lindsay says you have to do Living on a Prayer on the piano mat. You got it. It's on the to-do list. Slow it down and do it as a ballad. Yeah, I know. Well, did you see Dee Schneider's that he did We're Not Gonna Take It as a ballad? Mm-hmm. It was amazing. It was amazing. And he had a whole benefit cancer type thing. And then the actresses were shaving their head because, they were getting chemo. It was moving. It was, but yeah, no, but here's the thing though. If no one likes it, I'm still going to do it because it's what I want to do. So it's going on YouTube and no one's going to stop me from putting it on YouTube. That's what I love about YouTube. You don't need anyone's permission. You do whatever you want.
Well, what's your next video going to be?
On the piano?
On anything. What's the next thing you're going to put up?
The next thing, it's going to be Don't Stop Me Now from Queen on the piano. And I think my funny little shtick is going to be, instead of just me playing it, because my videos, it has the sheet music with the timeline moving over the notes. It's got a digital piano above my video of my piano. They animate which keys are pressed.
Mm-hmm.
And when they press them, it shows you the note. And I have a live feed of me full screen playing it. So there's multiple things happening on the screen. But I think after I'm done, I'm going to tell you how to play it as an entertainer and like how to lean in on these and how to smash the keys here. Because some of them are like real rapid fire, like that. So it's going to be like extravagant motions that you could do to make it look more epic or a little more crazy, depending on how you look at it. Because
I'll have another Heifer Haven going up tonight. Because I know everybody just loves Heifer Haven.
My sticker board's going to hit this channel soon too. So
yeah, I'll be putting up sticker board in a week, I hope. In about a week. Because I have to finish sticker board so I can finish doing the video so that I can edit the video and then I can load the video. So there's some steps that's got to go in there. But I'm hoping that in about a week I'll have that one done. Steve Carmichael says, I grew up with my great grandparents upright in our basement. When my mom sold the house, it stayed because my dad finished the basement around it and we couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds a lot like the old farmhouse I was raised in. The furnace in the basement was an old grain dryer. The thing was huge. And what they'd done is when they poured the basement, they put the grain dryer in the basement and built the house over it.
Oh, it was a big piece of equipment.
So when we had to get a new furnace, they had to go down there with cutting torches and cut that thing out and haul it up in pieces to get it out of the basement.
Ordine confirmed she has 2 keyboards. The upright is sentimental to them because it's what they learned to play on. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, but there's worse things they could do. So yeah, I'd say, as long as they have an interest in it, I'd probably keep it.
And I've been trolling Craigslist, and people have free piano. Like people don't want them.
On Marketplace on Facebook. I noticed that a while back. Yeah,
they are thousands of dollars.
You could go out and take a big U-Haul and load you up probably 7-8 pianos a day just off of Marketplace on Facebook.
I'd love to have them because the sound coming out of an acoustic piano is so much more vibrant than speakers in a digital piano. But I mean, hey, it works for me.
Well, I think Ryan Wrigley did some kind of a project using an old piano frame a while back.
I've seen people put like fish tanks and, bookcases, and they'll turn them into other furniture.
Make them into a bar and all kinds of stuff.
Kind of cringe when I see it, but I mean, hey,
the parts inside of them will wear out, unless you have a lot of money and you want to keep replacing parts in it and all that, you got to figure out something else to do with them. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you're tearing down a perfectly good piano to do something, now that's another story altogether.
I remember.
Jim Dockrell says, I was involved in a piano move like that in the basement with a corner on the stairs, and the guy built a kitchen island 4 feet from the door.
Oh, no. He can't wrench it around.
Yep. And Mark says, I helped a guy sell a very desirable old piano he had listed in the Craigslist free section. He didn't know what he had, and I didn't want him to be taken advantage of. Well, that's
Oh,
admirable.
good
That's
on you,
admirable.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark's a good guy for sure.
And Stream Elements is telling you that BrendaG's Designs has plenty of good homemade goat's milk soap in her Etsy store. So when you go to the store and you can't find their soap, that's because I have it all.
Oh, check out Mark's follow-up. He says a restorer bought the piano from him for $4,000,
Wow.
and the guy gave Mark $400 for hooking him up,
No,
not letting him sell it for free or get rid of it for free. Crazy.
10%. If you run across a really old one that can't be fixed, the black keys are usually ebony.
Mm.
And the white ones are ivory.
I think the one that was in our basement were ivory, real ivory keys, if I recall. It sure as hell didn't look like plastic. They were something else.
Yeah. You can usually tell by the feel of the key if it's plastic or if it's ivory.
Yeah. But I mean, come on. I mean, $200,000 grand piano sounds just like it. It's digital.
Mark Lindsay says he has a coffee can full of ebony keys. I'd be making something out of them. That's just me. I've got a power carver.
Yeah. Or make pen blanks, turn pens on a lathe,
Well, I don't have a lathe, but I have a power carver, and I'd be making something out of them keys.
What if I could? John C is here. There's another Makers Rock participant. Welcome.
Yep.
What if I could, John C?
Watched his video the other day. Yeah, any of you that haven't watched the Makers Rock videos of these fellas making these, you ought to check them out. I tried to participate, but my computer decided that it didn't want me to, and it lost all my footage, so I couldn't make my videos and stuff out of it. But I'll
put the playlist in the chat, the link to the playlist in the chat.
There's the album that I did. It was Blues Brothers. So I did the work, but I couldn't do a video on it because my footage was lost when my hard drive crashed.
Now, everyone in the audience, this playlist that I put in the chat, if you watch those videos, each person has a giveaway. They're giving away what they create, and you can participate in each person's giveaway. So hit that link in the chat that says Makers Rock playlist, watch the videos, including mine on Awesome with Things, and enter the contest, and you could win one or more. It's totally possible to win mine and someone else's. I mean, it hasn't happened, but statistically it is possible.
Yeah, Ordine said her hard drive crashed too, so she feels my pain.
Not fun. So not fun.
Yep, we're not going to go through that no more. I mean, it may crash again, but we're going to have backups. We're not putting up with a bunch of foolishness anymore out of it. And next year I will be participating. I've already got my album picked out for next year, and I have some plans. So I've got some projects I got to finish up, and then I will get started on the one for next year. And this time I'm not going to lose my footage.
That's good. Jim mentioned that ivory is a protected item, and you can't sell it without legal issues. So thank you, Jim Dockrell, for pointing.
Yeah, but I didn't say I was going to sell it. I said I'd be making something out of it.
Wow.
Not everything I make is sold. I do keep some things for myself, Ivory would be something I'd be keeping.
Woodworking's a hobby. I do it for fun. And when people ask me to make stuff for them, that's often not fun. So I really backed off that. Not that I won't make something for someone for money, but I usually won't.
Yeah, Jim Bashir says Brenda's going to make an elephant statue. That should be okay. No, I would probably do like scrimshaw type work and stuff, and put it like in knife handle inlays, and because I collect knives, and I'm very eclectic with my crafting. If you don't believe it, check out some of my craft videos. You'll see I do everything, from paper to carving to painting. You name it, I've probably done it. The only thing that I don't like, somebody asked me once, they said, "Is there any craft that you don't do?" Yes, I do not do stained glass. I'm not a fan. I mean, I loved looking at it, but I'm not a fan of working with it. That's just not my thing.
Do you
But
do paper mache?
yes, I've done paper mache.
Okay.
I do quilling, where you curl the paper into different shapes and make designs and stuff with the paper.
Decoupage.
Decoupage, yeah, done plenty of that. Decoupage furniture, and
You do the what's not needlepoint? What's the other one called?
well, crochet and cross stitch and
Cross
knitting, and
stitch. Is that the one with the big grid?
well, the one with the big grid, um, what do they call that? Shoot. Now my mind's drawing a blank. Somebody in the chat probably knows what it's called.
Mark was talking about stained glass, which he did for a while. He says it's fun, but it gets expensive really fast.
Well,
Latch hook, says Steve Carmichael.
yeah, latch hook. I've done lots of latch hook rugs and things to hang on the wall.
I paid a crafter to make me a latch hook piece of art.
Mhm.
It says, it's hanging on my wall. It says, here, I'll show it to you. Want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. If I can get to it. I'll have to take the spotlight off of the piano beaver. All right, here you go. It says, "Forget Santa. I'm waiting for the doctor."
That's cross stitch there.
Cross stitch. Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's cross stitch there.
Yeah, I paid my friend to make me that. I actually paid her to make me 3 of them, and I framed them all in my wood shop. I made the frame myself, and then gave the other 2 to both of my brothers. And it's got the Gallifreyan artwork.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really like it. Brings a smile to my face.
Yeah, I've got several pieces of cross stitch hanging around my house that I've done over the years. Some of them date clear back to the 70s.
It seems like it would be, now I don't want to make assumptions, but it seems like it would be less difficult than some of the other sewing.
Well, you're sewing a pattern on a piece of gridded material.
It's like a plastic screen, like a.
Well, not that. That is like more of a linen that's done on. But you can do it on plastic. You can do cross stitch on plastic.
Mark says latch hook looks like shag carpeting.
Yeah, yeah. And I've done projects with that. I've done beaded projects where you sew tiny. I do the tiny little seed beads. They're like the size of the head of a pin, and stitch them onto a piece of fabric that I have drawn my design on. And it's heavy. I mean, when you wouldn't think them little seed beads would weigh that much, but when you get a whole design done on them, they're heavy. I've done that and then put that on jackets, and
Do perler beads count as crafting? Those little plastic cylinders that you smash with an iron and they fuse together.
Well, yeah, it's a craft. Yeah. And he hit a button and disappeared. There, look there.
Oh, yeah, you blinked away. Did you beam up for a second?
No, you beamed yourself out. I don't know what happened to you.
Man, the TARDIS took me away, and since it's time travel, it put me back 3 seconds afterwards.
Yeah, Mark says that his wife's a spinner, a knitter, a weaver. Yeah, I do all those too. Almost everything on our walls used to be on a sheep or an alpaca. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, Mark.
Yeah, I do all that kind of stuff too. There's very few crafts that I haven't messed with. Marbling, I love to do marbling, where you take paint and float it on water, and then you take an object and dip it down in and then pull it out, and it comes out marbled. I did a mailbox like that once. I've done all kinds of stuff with the marbling, and that's really cool to do. And bow making and cake decorating. I mean, In
junior high, the whole class had to take a mandatory cake decorating class.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I, I got the little loopy loops, the
Mm-hmm.
little borders. Man, mine were on point.
And it takes practice to get good at that. The first few you make, you're like, oh my word, how on earth did they get these to look so pretty? But after you just keep practicing with it, you go through a lot of icing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to do them.
Jim says, when you write the Constitution on a grain of rice, then you're good, Brenda.
I'm always fascinated with these guys that carve lead in a pencil into something.
Yeah.
That's better eyesight than I've got.
Bobby Duke took a pencil and then he carved 2 other pencils in a pencil. So it was a pencil, and then he carved a smaller pencil, and then out of the smaller pencil, the last one was the size of the lead. It was the whole pencil. It was crazy. Yeah, look at what this says. I think I showed this before. I bought this when I was 11 years old. It won't focus, I don't think. It says stolen from Matt Haas. I had to put a check in the mail to get this. That's before, there was the internet.
Mark Lindsay says, we haven't had a dining room table since 2006. Instead, we have an 8-harness floor loom with a 6-foot square footprint.
My goodness.
Now, I don't have big looms like that. I like the peg looms. They're smaller. I mean, anywhere from like a little 6-inch loom all the way up. I think, let's see, my biggest one is a 7-foot triangle loom that sits on an easel. But when I'm not using it, I fold up the easel and then I can put it against the wall. So it's not taking up a bunch of room all the time. And Jim Dockrell says, if you need 144 rolls of toilet paper for a 14-day quarantine, you should have seen a doctor long before the virus. Yes, I agree with that. Or something bad wrong with you.
True that.
Holy smoke. And then Jim Bashir says that his wife wants a CNC quilting machine that will just about take up our last floor space. Now, I've never heard of a CNC quilting machine.
Well, they automate everything now, so.
But would you call it a CNC?
Computer numeric control. If it's computer controlled, I mean, it could be anything.
All right. I stand corrected.
We've been going almost an hour and a half, Brenda. You want to wrap it up?
Well, people are still talking.
Yeah, they are.
Mark says, spoken like a man who doesn't have 3 daughters and a wife, Jim D. They'll go through 144 rolls in no time. Yeah, Jim Bashir says it's basically an automated sewing machine that does quilting. Now, I have seen those, not face-to-face, but I've seen them on TV. There's a quilting show that's on PBS that I'll tune into once in a while. And I have seen those big old quilting machines, and they're expensive.
My friend, all those automated machines are expensive. The embroidery machines, they're expensive. I think he had like a 7-color embroidery machine that he bought himself. I'm like, where'd you get the money for this? This is insane.
Now, I used to have a knitting machine that you could hook up to the computer and download your patterns, and it would knit on its own. And the only time that you need to stop it, you wouldn't have to stop it. It would stop itself, is when you had to do increases or decreases in your pattern or a color change. And it was 4 color. And I had that for a while. And that's been back in the late 80s, early 90s. And that thing cost me around $3,500, I think, by the time I got all the accessories and everything that went with it, and be able to download patterns and everything to it, the cables and everything. But that was a serious chunk of change back then.
I can imagine. Yeah.
We're talking 35, 40 years ago.
See, Jim Dockrell, when people zig, he zags. He says, I was smart. I went out and bought all the plungers.
Well, I told this gal at the store this morning when she's talking about that the paper towels was almost gone. I said, and I need to be a plumber. Because when they start trying to flush the paper towels down the toilet and back up the septic system, that's where the money's going to be.
I tell you what, we had major problems at the house. We have to get plumbers out to unplug it, to unclog it.
Mhm.
And we switched toilet paper brands to ones that were equally soft, because I like the premium toilet paper, because I mean, come on. And the new brand breaks down more. Like if you put it in water, it will eventually turn to it'll dissolve if it's in water long enough. Where the old brand, it was so high end, it wouldn't break down.
Mhm.
When we switched to that, we haven't had any problems since. So
Yep. Well, I guess we'll close her down, but I want to remind everybody that Brenda has an Etsy store and she's got soap.
Unlimited supply of soap.
And the Stream Elements is out there telling you that what the URL is. You can go over there and you can get soap. Unlike if you go up to the store where they're all sold out.
Oh, and I have holographic stickers for $1 on Etsy.
So he can buy toilet paper.
It's the toilet paper fund.
You're going to have to sell a lot of stickers.
It's true.
Oh, mercy.
Well, once you peel off the sticker, you could use the back as toilet paper.
You're going to have to peel a lot of backs off of them.
Oh.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Thanks to David and to Osprey Mama for the super chats. I really appreciate it. It all goes toward the postage fund here for the giveaways. And let's see. The next place you see us would be Saturday night over on Simply Wooden Creations channel, because we're on his panel. So if you haven't joined up over on Simply Wooden Creations, come over there Saturday night, 8:00 Eastern, and see us over there on the panel. And then All Things YouTube is Matt's show. He will be here on the internet on YouTube on Monday night, 7 p.m., telling us about all things YouTube and bringing us up to speed on what we need to know.
There's 3 new videos on All Things YouTube channel. So 7 p.m. Monday, All Things YouTube. Join. Teach you how to be more awesome on you. Who doesn't want to know how to be more awesome on YouTube?
Or teach us the things that we have to know, whether we want to know them or not, because YouTube's always changing stuff on us.
Drop a like if you haven't already.
So with all that being said, I'm going to bid y'all adieu, and happy toilet paper hunting to all y'all.
I put the Makers Rock playlist. Free stuff, free giveaways, Makers Rock.
Okay, cool. And we'll see y'all on the interwebs. Night, everybody.